guys, a lot of staff movement and things to get to. After our last show last week, Nebraska, Phil Snow, Terry Braden on the defensive line, but the big one recently, Addison Williams, who was the defensive coordinator for Gus Malzahn at Central Florida, also the associate head coach there and the secondary coach. He is in line now to be the secondary coach for Matt Rule, and UCF just hired Alex Grinch as their new D coordinator, but this is a big-time hire. Addison Williams made $700,000 last year at Central Florida.
Addison Williams, guys, in 2023 was the defensive coordinator for a UCF unit that was the best in the Big 12 against the pass. 2024, the defense was as good. I mean, the team was, 4-8. The defense wasn't as good, but it was still a top 40 defense. So, I mean, I don't know, Sean, was there a connection with Rule and this guy?
Well, John Butler was a position coach at South Carolina in 2011, and Addison Williams was a GA there. Addison Williams played at South Carolina, but that is the only kind of crossing there, almost kind of like a Matt Rule, Tony White, a connection, but a very, very limited one. But clearly a recruiter. I was told by somebody that covers UCF that he was without a doubt their best recruiter.
Oh,
and he was responsible for bringing a lot of their players in. And I think within the UCF fan base, there was some concern that maybe some of those guys could also end up at Nebraska.
What do you think, Rob?
What I find interesting, it seems like they're really prioritizing coaches with recruiting connections in Florida and where else, Sean? Texas?
Well, yeah, Texas. I mean, Phil Simpson's a Florida guy.
Oh, sorry, Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yes, Kansas City.
But just look at the new hires. Like they're all about as dialed into those two regions as you can possibly imagine.
Oh God, thanks for saying that, Rob. Think of what they've done in Kansas City in the last year. Mosey, Winerny. I can't say his name. Williams Winerny. What is it? Is that it? Is that close enough? Juju Marks. I'm missing a guy.
Winerny.
Yeah, and Dawson Merritt. Think about what they've pulled from Kansas City. Those guys I just said, all high profile guys. I mean, they have Nebraska, you could say, has exploded in Kansas.
Now they're going to go play a game down there.
Right.
And then, we'll get to that on our next segment. It's been just this unbelievable run. And honestly, they've had success, but this is the biggest impact they've had.
That's explosion. I mean, all those guys are big time players.
Nebraska's been trying to plant the flag there for what seems like 20 years.
Right.
Now they're doing it and then doing it in a pretty significant way.
City too. There's a lot of parts. It's not just, I mean, there's Kansas City, Kansas, there's suburbs of Kansas City, Kansas. There's, I mean, it's a big footprint. It's not just
Lee Summit goes out.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to Kansas City now. And you've got a guy that kind of ran 7-on-7 and did a lot of things down there as a high school coach.
Jamar Mosey,
and then his son, Isaiah Mosey, coming to Nebraska, knows kids down there. So yeah, the Mosey hire, and I believe he's going to have even a bigger role with coaching receivers this year. Guys,
next season, it's easy to imagine 3 starters from the Kansas City area that just swooped in. Dawson Merritt, which Rule said already, right? Get ready.
Yeah. He said, come in ready to play.
Mosey, Isaiah Mosey. I've watched him on film. I could see him starting in the slot.
And Winerny.
Winerny better start.
I said it for you there just to kind of set you up there.
I mean, the only thing that will hold back Williams Winerny is Williams Winerny. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. And, I mean, more talent than we've seen here in a while. Since Gregory, I'd say. Is that too much? Am I saying too much?
I don't think so.
Should I just bite my tongue at this point?
I mean, his recruiting profile alone would suggest that.
Ooh,
can he live up to it? We'll see, but
right.
Table set.
I'm telling you. The only thing that stopped Randy Gregory is Randy Gregory.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
100. Right. That's the only thing that stopped Randy Gregory. Because when he was right, it's hard to imagine a better defensive.
He was as gifted of a defensive player as I've seen.
Right.
Next to Sue.
All right. A lot more to get to with the staff, though. It's going to be interesting to kind of learn the different assignments and duties.
Yeah.
When they can make some of this official, too, because it's been out there. It's a process where they have to get these guys in. Terry Braden, though, I know has talked to guys. And
Snow is all but official.
Yeah, and you wonder what the holdup on that is. I mean,
nothing.
So
just paperwork, Sean.
So it has come together quickly.
I mean it.
With the staff.
It's
and,
nothing.
If you're being objective, like they've almost upgraded in a lot of places.
Well, I mean, Rob, how do you feel about 3 coordinators on each side of the ball? I mean, defensive coordinator. So on the defensive side, you have Butler, who is the defensive coordinator. You have Phil Snow, who was a defensive coordinator, and this new fella from UCF, who was a defensive
Addison.
coordinator.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want guys where Nebraska is a stepping stone job for them. You want guys that have been out there and done it. And all 3 of these guys have been out there and done it. In some cases, the highest level of football.
Yep.
So that, I think, is a big difference compared to the first round of hires, where Rule got guys that he was familiar with, comfortable with, and had that relationship with. Now he's getting guys that he still has that to a degree, but he's getting accomplished coaches that have carved their own paths and are bringing new ideas, which I think is the foundation of a good staff.
The key in that scenario, guys, is the top. It's Rule.
Yep.
I mean, because those guys all have done it. They all have their own way of thinking. There's egos that can get involved. The leader has to keep it all together. And so it's critical for him, for Rule, to keep it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And the bowl practices all week for Nebraska, a full week to get ready. I mean, they leave for New York on Monday.
Crazy.
And today is Tuesday.
Like, what happened to bowl month?
I know.
Well,
It's portal month.
it's portal. I mean,
Staff hiring month.
Yeah, we got to back. Yeah, you got to kind of back up. You almost have to kind of remind yourself. That's why I wrote what I wrote today. I was like, I think I'm just going to write about the team, like the current team.
Mhm.
They
They still have a game to play.
right. There's yeah.
It doesn't feel
It's
like it.
interesting. I mean, you almost kind of have to divide up duties a little bit.
And yeah, I mean, I've been on full portal. That's been
You've been a full portal now.
Mhm.
The thing I wish it were like the old days when we'd go over and cover practice.
Mhm.
You know, we
Yeah, that's
don't
been the
do
weird
that.
thing.
It's been limited access.
The
for
last
whatever
time,
reason.
the last time we covered a bowl, we were there like multiple days a week,
Right.
for like 3 weeks.
And again, the issue is the groups are just too big now. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was 6 of us going over there, but there's 40. And why there's 40 people, it's crazy. I don't know. But there is.
But there was a lot. They just used to do it. I'm not quite sure why we don't.
It's a little
do
different now with the portal, and coaches aren't even on the road though. So bowl month is more manageable because everything you're doing is in Lincoln. You're not leaving Lincoln.
This isn't me. Don't read this as me complaining. It's not necessarily complaining. It's just pointing out something. We're not really covering the team over
The fact
there.
that the staff was kind of in flux for a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we
true.
can have coordinator day, and you don't have a defensive coordinator hired yet. Like that may have had something to do with it. And then Matt Rule said it himself. Like he didn't even know what day it is right now because he's trying to juggle so many things. He's trying to finish out his staff. He's trying to hit the portal. He's trying to keep guys here. He's trying to recruit for 2026. He's doing all of these things. Oh, and also he's trying to get his team ready for a game. Like there's all these things that are on his plate right now. I get it if he doesn't want to spend 20, 30 minutes rehashing everything that's happened.
You know what's really helpful in that scenario? To have Phil Snow and Dana Holgerson running practice.
Yep.